Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Maggie. It's nice to meet you and thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. So this is the Ugly Duckling challenge video. This challenge is where a bunch of YouTubers collaborate and make over a very ugly piece of furniture. This challenge is hosted by Corey over on Desert DIY. This is the sad piece that I found. I got it for free off of Marketplace, and it's old, it's falling apart, it's Arborite, it smells like cigarettes, and I have my work cut out for me. So wish me luck. I have about 6 days to get this done, so it's going to be tight. It's going to be what's the word? A challenge. A really big challenge. I've probably bitten off more than I can chew. Here we go. Well, here we are, guys. This is the sad state of this dresser. This is very thin wood. Some of the drawers are falling apart. There is dovetailing though on the drawers, which I am surprised about. So I'm actually really happy about that. This drawer actually seems okay. It's not bad. Check out these handles. You can see it is falling apart. I think it may have sat in water at one point. There's a bunch of cobwebs. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. There's some cobwebs for you. And also at the bottom and the back is some damage right here and right there. Not too good. And over here, so it's just particle board underneath. That's what all Arborite dressers are made with. Pretty cheap wood. So this is definitely going to need to be painted. I like painting, so I can't wait to get started. That's what it looks like. Guess I should remove the hardware, hey? After cutting the bottom off of the dresser, I needed to add some boards to reinforce the bottom. So I'm using my Craig jig. It is one of my favorite tools that I own. It works awesome. I love it. Can't really see what I'm doing here, but I need to notch out this board for the middle bracing that is in the dresser. So notching out this piece will just make it fit the way that it's supposed to. Now it just slides right in there. Perfect. Now I just need to put some pocket screws in it, which I will do in a moment. And there's the pocket screws. And now I'm just gonna screw it all in. I don't know what else to say. I always feel kind of strange when I'm commentating and putting into words exactly what is showing on the screen. But if you guys like when I explain everything that I'm doing, then please let me know down in the comments, and I'll try and do that more in my videos in the future. Also, if you really like this video, can you please hit the thumbs up? I would really appreciate it. And consider subscribing, maybe sharing this video with a friend who might enjoy it. Yeah, so I'm having fun doing these YouTube videos, so thank you very much for being here. Now I'm just adding some corner bracing. This corner bracing is not only to help with the stability of the dresser, but it also gives me an area to screw in the base that I'm making, the base that is attached to the legs, which you'll see shortly. Finally, I can get to priming. This is a water-based prime, Go Prime. It's really good for covering over Arborite. I will mention that I sanded this whole piece down with, I believe, 120 grit sandpaper. I just wanted to have a really nice rough surface to make sure that this primer and paint will adhere really well, since Arborite is a really smooth surface to begin with. So I roughed it up with the sandpaper, and now this primer is really, really good. It'll hopefully will last a long time. I'm using a Colormatic oval chalk paint brush. It works pretty good. Not my favorite, but it works awesome for the primer. When I speed up my videos, it's mostly because my kids come in and start talking to me while I'm painting or whatever. And so that mousy noise that you hear is probably me and my kids talking. So I'm just going to use a smaller artist brush to get into all the little grooves and stuff and the little trim pieces in between the drawers. It just is a little bit easier than using the big chalk paint brush. Blah. What am I trying to say? For the paint, I chose House and Canvas chalk furniture paint in the color Shadow, which is a very dark black. I didn't want the dresser to be black, so I ended up adding just a little bit of Fusion Mineral paint in the color blue, Midnight Blue. So it turned out to be a really like a dark blue-black. Also, I've switched brushes to a Country Chic oval brush. That I like this one a lot better than the Colormatic one. I always try and do a thin coat for the first coat. And I'm trying to get it super smooth, so I've been practicing, and I've found that using the water bottle really helps, and just giving it a quick spray when you want to do some longer strokes and go over an area that you've already done. You just don't want to go over it too many times. Then you're going to end up just like pulling paint off. So I'm just getting the first coat done now. And I'm using the artist brush again to get into the smaller trim areas. I just wanted to add an extra little detail to this dresser since it was kind of plain. So I ran to my nearest Dixie Belle dealer and picked up some black Dixie Belle Mud and a stencil. And I forgot to film myself putting it on the drawer that I did it on, but I will show you. I added the same detail to another area of the dresser that I did film, so you'll see that in a minute. So after 2 coats of paint, I sanded everything down with 400 grit sandpaper just to make it all nice and smooth, and I did some little touch-ups here and there if it needed it. And then I put on my top coat, which is, what did I use? Hold on, I have to go look. I used Rust-Oleum's matte clear chalked protective top coat. I found it at Home Depot, and I like it. I think it worked pretty good. So at this point, I've cut all the skirting and the legs for the base of the dresser, and now I'm just using my really small, it's like a mini planer, to burnish all the corners, and then I'll sand them all down so that they're nice and smooth. Then I'll be staining the whole skirt and legs. I'm going to spray a little bit of spray adhesive. This is the one that I'm using. Elmer's spray adhesive. And I just give it a light spray. I'm going to do it over here on the cardboard because I don't want everything else to be sticky. Now I'm just going to brush a thin layer of top coat right over the stencil. I've watched a few YouTube videos and a couple of them did it this way and it really helped. I experimented with it on my test piece and it really helped to keep the mud from going underneath the stencil. Okay, so this is what I'm using. Dixie Mud in black. And once you open it, it is to be kept in the fridge. This is what it looks like. Okay. This can be used to fill scratches, marks, dings, whatever you want in your furniture, and it is sandable, paintable, water soluble. However, you do not want to wash this down the drain because it's like such a clay, it will clog up your drain. Yeah, so that would not be good. Okay. I think we're ready. It looks pretty much dry. Just like a couple spots. I'm too impatient. I must do it now. Okay. I stirred this the other day, so it should be fine. It doesn't really need to be stirred. Okay, wish me luck. I am applying the mud. Now I just want to try and get it in there smooth. Make sure that I get all the spots covered. And go in different directions and help push it right into the stencil. I'm not worried about getting it off of the edge over here because I can sand it after. So that is okay. Just being gentle and pushing some in. Take a little bit more. And pushing some more in there. Like this, right up to the edge. Go this way to make sure that I get some right on the edge there. Okay, I don't know how that's gonna work. You're not gonna see too much of this edge here anyways because it's gonna be right up underneath the front lip of the dresser. You'll see what I mean after. I'm just gonna scrape off the top layer and try and make it a little bit smoother. I need that back. Okay. Just want it to be smooth on top. I took off too much, I think. There. Trying not to get those holes and divots. Okay. I think we're good. Now, Okay, stop messing with it, Maggie. Leave it alone. All right. Just gonna scrape that off. I don't want to waste any. Now, I'm gonna put this back in the fridge for next time. If I can get the lid on. There we go. Now, it says it's supposed to sit for 15 minutes. Oh, 5 minutes, sorry. So it says to let it sit for 5 minutes before you take the stencil off. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. I can see that it's just slightly starting to dry on the stencil, not in the holes, but on the stencil I can see that it is not as shiny, so it's definitely starting to dry a bit. Okay, so here goes. Let's hope that it looks good. Ooh. Ooh, it's really stuck this time. Oh, look at that. Whoa. Wow. Okay, I would say that that worked. There's still some of the top coat that I can see that's wet still around in there, but it looks good. I think it's gonna dry great. And I can go over it just gently with some fine grit sandpaper after it's dry. And yeah, okay, so it worked. This base with legs that I'm building is very similar or the same concept as the DIY wife one that she does. And it's awesome because it goes with a lot of different types of furniture. It's a very nice style right now that's pretty popular, the mid-century modern kind of style. Okay, this should fit perfectly. And just go right here. Just gonna give this a light sanding. This is 400 grit sandpaper. I'm just going to add some top coat to all of the skirting pieces and the legs. I'm going to put the top coat right over top of the Dixie Mud to preserve the stenciling. And then it will be time for assembly. It's assembly time. Time to put together the legs and skirting. I wanted to bring this smaller type dresser up a little bit higher so you don't have to reach down as far for the bottom drawer. So I went with 9-inch legs on this dresser. I used Rub and Buff in antique gold to freshen up all of the hardware. The hardware is metal, I know at the beginning of the video I thought that they might be plastic, but they're definitely metal handles and they're really nice. Well, this video ended up being a lot longer than I thought. I have a hard time making short videos, apparently. I feel like I need to include a lot of the footage that I've taken. Maybe it's not necessary, but I try to edit it and cut it down as much as I can, and hopefully it's not too long for you and you can get some kind of enjoyment out of it. I just want to say thank you for watching, and I'm super happy to be here and sharing this process with you. This dresser is no longer an ugly duckling.